Hello, everybody, and welcome back. It is Monday, November 16th, 2020, and you are listening to episode 93 of the Can I Say Something podcast. I'm your host and a recluse with a juicy caboose, Damien. Joining me today, as always, is...
H.
Dion, what's up, buddy?
I am tilting.
Tilting? Why are you tilting?
I'm tilting because my fantasy team is fucking garbage. Sorry. Sorry, everyone. I had a phenomenal lineup, all right? I had this phenomenal lineup. I had Aaron Rodgers. I had one of the best receivers in the NFL, DK Metcalf. You might have heard of him. He was the guy they made those memes out of. He was coming out of college. He's just an absolute specimen. It was just like the dad be like, "Have my daughter home by 10," and he's like, "How about midnight?" And he's like, "Okay." Like that's the kind of memes that was happening. It's just like the dude could just turn. He's like, "I'm not gay." "Yes, you are." "I'm gay." You know, things like that. and he decides he wants to drop me a zero. Oh, this is like the number one receiver in the league, and he drops me a zero. And weeks before that, I had the number one receiver in the league, Calvin Ridley from the Falcons. He dropped me a zero as well. This is some unprecedented garbage. The fantasy gods have come out in full force against me this week. I was battling the number one team in the league, and I just got going into today, like, you know, the 1 o'clock games were going my way. And the 4 o'clock games, it's like I just crashed right into a wall. They struck me down. Struck me down. Are you okay, Annie? Annie, are you okay? Yeah, I'm not okay.
You were struck down. You were hit down by a smooth criminal.
Not okay.
It's not okay. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, let me give you something that might cheer you up. If I told you, Dion, that I was going to give you Santa's Yumnut, what would you say to me?
I say, "Sir, this is a Wendy's."
M&S, Marks and Spencer's. Yumnut. Santa's, not just any Yumnut. Santa's Yumnut.
Okay.
So the distributors of Santa's Yumnut, M&S, put out a tweet this week that said, "Who wants a bite of Santa's Yumnut? Our Yum Yum donut hybrids have been given a Christmassy makeover with delicious flaky pastry layers and a sweet, sweet Santa's belt topping. Find them in your local store bakery." Mm-hmm.
We're not doing phrasing. That was like the PR department was just like, "Fuck it, we're not doing phrasing."
Yeah.
Let them think whatever they want to think. It's provocative.
Yeah. It's provocative. Gets the people going.
Mm-hmm.
So what is a Yumnut, you might ask? A Yumnut is a combination of a Yum Yum, which is a flaky, rope-shaped fried donut glazed with icing, and a donut. So a donut with a donut, they're saying.
Dude.
Think cronut, but Yumnut.
It's a Yumnut, and you just use Yumnut and rope in the same sentence. That Yumnut is just going to have ropes.
Just blasting ropes.
Oh, man. We're professionals, I swear.
Would you get a Yumnut? Santa. Yeah, I'll take a Yumnut.
I'll be honest with you, you sound pretty good.
Yeah. Give me that Yumnut in my mouth, please.
You know those shots when you go out to a bar and like, I think it was called like a slippery nipple. And they're just named something absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. Just because they want you to have to order that. And just say, "I want a slippery nipple." You have to tell somebody you want a slippery nipple. What was it? Or a blowjob. Remember those ones? It came on the big cup, and then they put the shot on top of that one, and then you had to like deep throat it. Yeah, you have to say, "I want a blowjob" to this person. Yep. And chances are, you don't know if I'm a guy and my waiter's a guy too. You got to tell him that. But yeah, you're at a donut shop and you got to go up to someone and say, "Yo, give me Santa's Yumnut."
Sure, give me some of that Yumnut.
Goodness.
Mrs. Claus is going to have fun this year. That's all I'm saying.
We're all Mrs. Claus this year.
So, did you hear about WWE has come to terms on the release of Zelina, Vega? Zelina,
Vega. Well in her future
Every time
endeavors.
Anytime I ever hear anybody's name as Vega or Yolanda, I always think of that woman that did the lottery Sunday nights. Yolanda Vega.
Really? No, it's not I think Street Fighter.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and she's like super into cosplay, so I think my connection, it seems a little bit stronger than yours. So I have no idea about this lottery chick you're talking about.
Well, speaking of cosplaying wrestlers, they had a gallery, a collage of what's the guy's name that was in the Authority? Not the big guy.
The
What's
Authority.
the Authority. Yeah, the Authority, right? That was the name of the.
Oh, it was the Triple H.
No,
talking
am I thinking of the wrong group of people? Who's the guy? Who's the big guy right now? Who's the champion right now?
I haven't been watching.
Dude with the black hair. Who's got the
mini boycott?
Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns, but who's his partner? Who's his
Paul Heyman?
No, that's his manager. Who's his fucking teammate? People is the guys that was in the Authority. It's called the Authority, right? The
Reigns wasn't in the Authority. Seth Rollins was in the Authority.
Seth Rollins, thank you. Seth Rollins
Okay.
did a bunch of cosplay as like Vegeta, and I think he did like a Thanos cosplay and a Captain America cosplay. Is that correct? Yes, possibly. Okay.
Oh no! That's his ring gear. He would come out in that stuff.
He would color different colors.
So one time he came out like dressed like the Night King. He had like blue contacts.
Night King. Yeah.
He came out as a white Power Ranger once. Actually, Vince told him he can't wear the white Power Ranger outfit because A, he doesn't get it, and B, it was too over.
What does he not get?
He just doesn't understand what a Power Ranger is, I assume.
Oh, really?
It wasn't really like elaborated on, but like Vince isn't like in touch with things that happen in the world outside of his own world that he creates with the WWE. He doesn't understand a lot of these things, and he has like a very juvenile sense of humor. Like, you remember Goldust?
Yes.
Like, the things that he put him through is basically, you could take Goldust's entire career and just realize, hey, Vince is a genius because he was able to make the WWE into what it is. But that's what he really wanted to do, was just Goldust's entire career was just the juvenile, what he thinks people want in the world. People wanted to see. He thought Goldust was like I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it, but I mean, anytime you have to dress, I guess what I'm trying to say, anytime you got to dress up with that kind of flair, he probably thinks it's a joke that he doesn't understand.
Yes.
But like, he does, like Power Rangers. I don't ever think that he's probably watched Power Rangers in his life. But it was sweet, and it was a really sweet outfit. But he's just like, no, you can't wear that. Like, Power Ranger? What the hell is that?
So before we get emails for corrections, the group I was trying to think of was the Shield. So you can understand.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Shield and the Authority, very
the
similar.
Shield and the Authority were against each other, and then Seth Rollins turned on the Shield to join the Authority.
Yes.
Okay.
So Zelina Vega is not on Twitch anymore, or was she not? Was she on? She was on Twitch, and they pulled her Twitch thing, right?
Yeah,
and
now she decided it.
Yeah, they commandeered it, and so yeah.
Yeah. Did you? There was a big uproar online about it because I think like 5 minutes before the internet knew about it, she had sent out a tweet saying, I'm for unionization.
Right.
And everyone thought that, she said the union word. She's gone.
Yeah.
And then 5 minutes later, WWE said, hey, we released her. But actually, I think what happened was that the WWE released her prior to that. And then she was like, yep, I'm all for unionization. So they probably had a conversation, but that wasn't. If you were thinking that the tweet was the reason it got caused, I don't think that's actually the case. The sequence was backwards.
Yeah. Gotcha. So people on the wrestling subreddit, Squared Circle, are commenting on the article saying, calling it now, anytime in the next 72 hours, Aleister Black is probably going to be released as well. Do you know what the connection there would be?
Aleister Black is a superstar that came from the NXT to the main roster, and they don't know. Vince doesn't know how to use anyone that comes from NXT. Because what NXT is like a farming. Not say farm. It's its own brand. Triple H runs it,
right?
And it's like Triple H's like wet wrestling dream, basically. And it's actually really good storyline wise and the matches. But when they come up to the main roster, Vince he's like, I don't know what to do with this guy, like. And he just doesn't use them correctly, or I don't know. Or what's actually going to happen is he's not going to be released. He's going, unless he says something that like is offensive. I don't know. But what's really going to happen is he's going to hold on to him for about the rest of his contract, however long that is, and he's just going to humiliate the guy now because that's the type of person Vince is.
Right.
He'll be going through tables. He'll be getting put through tables by like Nia Jax. He'll lose every single match for the rest of his career until they finally let him go.
Right.
And they're not going to fire him. They're not going to let him go because AEW might be interested in taking him.
Yeah.
So that's why Vince is going to hold on to this dude forever and just embarrass him because that's the type of person Vince is.
Right. Is Aleister Black married to Zelina?
Yeah, that's her husband.
Gotcha. Okay, so that's the connection there that I was looking for.
Oh, my bad.
Let's see.
I thought I said that first.
No.
Thought I let off with that.
You mentioned Nia Jax putting him through tables. That's exactly what the comment on Square Circle is. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's exactly. I mean, everybody knows it. Like, it's no secret.
Yeah.
Vince is just a petty asshole.
Yes.
And
yes,
it's not even anything Aleister did. It's just that that's in Vince's mind, he has been slighted, and now he has to go scorched earth on everybody.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Yep, correct. Oh, so anything else you want to say about that?
No, I'm just,
No?
well, I mean, I've said it before. My this is like just knowledge that I've had.
Yeah.
I haven't watched WWE in a while. Doing a boycott of it, basically. I'm done with the carny act that WWE is. It's unfortunate because I loved watching wrestling. And
yeah, me too.
I got a passion for it, but it's just the way he I'll watch AEW, but the way that the WWE is run, how he buries certain people is just, it's crap. And all the stuff behind the scenes too, it's just not cool.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree completely. What was I going to say?
Get off my soapbox now.
No, it's fine. They so they're still doing. Are they still doing live events? Like, what's the deal with that? Are they doing stuff in front of the big screens where they have the people on the screen?
Yeah, they got the Thunderdome, which has all the screens. This is like their most profitable year, I've read, and they're not going to go back to what they had been doing. The live events that we know, like, they'll still have Raw and SmackDown. When everything clears up, they'll probably travel for that. They'll travel for their pay-per-views. But, like, in between Raws and SmackDowns, you would have house shows from, like, say, the pay-per-view was in Boston. You'd have a show in Worcester, a smaller city. Right. They don't get all done up for it. But, like, those shows, those house shows, they're called house shows. Those things are gone. They won't come back. So that's unfortunate.
Why would they be most profitable this year when people can't pay for tickets to see the shows, which I'm assuming makes up a big portion of their profits?
I would guess that it's the Fox deal they got. The Fox network paid a buttload of money for them to be there, and the ratings are actually solid. And they're getting more advertisers, being more mainstream, and it's just somehow that's equaling more money. You also got to consider all their travel, they do it all from the performance center now.
Oh,
so they don't have to travel anymore. There's so many costs that they're saving on by having one base of operations. So I guess having all those house shows wasn't equaling what they can make just staying there and having people watch virtually from screens inside the audience.
Yeah.
But damn well that, like, WrestleMania is still going to be something that people are going to go see when that time comes up again.
Yeah.
They'll keep the big money draws, basically. But everything before that, like maybe Raw and SmackDown will travel, but maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah.
They found a recipe of success, and they're profiting from it, so good on them, I guess.
Yeah, like you said, wrestling was a big thing for me for a long time. Mid-90s, watching with my dad, watching the pay-per-views. I remember the day they did the fucking in your house. I was like, Dad, we got to get the pay-per-views. We get pay-per-view every month, right? He's like, no. What do you mean every month? Like, yeah, every month now in your house. It's like, God damn it.
Actually, I'm thinking back. I don't remember how that actually happened. Like, I remember starting to watch wrestling, and then I had a friend that watched wrestling with me, and then next thing I can remember is that we're ordering pay-per-views, and my dad would watch them with us. And because actually, my dad he used to order the stuff too. Like when you had to call it, well, I guess you call the phone number back then too. But I found like WrestleMania 7 on VHS. Don't tell anybody. I guess that's illegal. I don't think he got Vince's written permission.
Yeah, I get DMCA'd.
Yeah, but I watched a lot of old pay-per-views that way.
Yeah,
I don't know. So I mean, he was probably kind of happy when I was like, "Hey, can we get this? Can we get Over the Edge?" And
yeah,
he was like, all right. And I remember he used to kind of like shit on it. Wrestling then, which was like the Attitude. Well, for him, it was I forget what era they would call that, but I grew up in the Attitude Era, so there was blood, and there was there was like the provocativeness, you know all about it.
Yep.
And he was always like, ugh, like this isn't what I grew up with. And it's like, no, I suppose it's not. And he would tell me that his favorite wrestler was Bob Backlund. You remember that guy?
I remember. Yeah, he wrestled. I saw him wrestle. What's his name? Bret Hart for a while. He had a rival.
Yeah, he was like world champion for a year, and he was like, oh yeah, he always had integrity, and he would shake your hand before every wrestling match. It's like, Dad, what are you? I want Stone Cold to come out and drink this beer and give somebody the stunner. That's what I want to see.
Yeah,
I want to see Triple H dome this dude with a sledgehammer.
Yes. Yep. So they're saying the new generation era was 94 to 97.
New generation, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So they don't even have the Attitude Era here. They have weird. Oh, okay. It's not in chronological order. That's why it's all over the place.
I'd say Attitude was like 96 or whatever. When New Generation died, basically, it became Attitude.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it here. Oh, they ranked them. That's why. Ranked them from best to worst. Attitude Era number 1 started November 97 to March 26th.
Number
Very
2.
specific. Very specific.
Number 2 was
era.
probably Ruthless Aggression.
They got Rock and Wrestling Era 84 to 93.
Wow. Hot take. That's a hot take.
World Champions Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant. This is when I started like early 90s. I remember seeing like Undertaker first come on the scene in Survivor Series, I want to say.
Yeah. I'm not sure when he actually made his debut, but yeah, when he came out as he was actually a mortician. No. He lived in a funeral home, but he had like those long purple gloves and he was Gravedigger. That's what it is.
Gravedigger era. Yeah. They got the PG era, which started July 2008. I guess they're saying it's still going.
Yeah, I guess you call it PG era, sure.
Yeah,
that's fair. I don't know what they would call it other than that.
They got the Ruthless Aggression era from 2004 to 2008. They're saying the end of the Ruthless Aggression era ended with Eddie Guerrero dying. They're saying they're trying to clean up their image after that.
Yeah, because not too long after that, you had Chris Benoit.
Yeah,
and stuff like that. So yeah, they definitely had to clean up after that.
Yep.
I love the Attitude Era, but the wrestling back then wasn't that great. It kind of sucked.
Right.
If you're looking for like good quality wrestling, Ruthless Aggression Era was lit. It had Brock Lesnar, it had Kurt Angle, John Cena before he was the 5 Moves of Doom. It's just really good matches from a lot of different like Shawn Michaels came back at a point.
Yeah.
Triple H was over his reign of destruction. So yeah, I mean there was a lot of good stuff going on for the Ruthless Aggression stage.
Randy Orton was in a montage video I watched the other day on YouTube of the worst wrestling finishers of all time. He had you said the 5 finishers of Doom or something, and the last one of the newest ones was some kind of Chinese kung fu punch thing. Right?
5 Chinese kung fu punch.
Yeah.
Who did it? Randy?
John Cena.
Cena would do the 5-knuckle shuffle.
Maybe that was it. Let me see
he would like wave in front of it. It was like his version of the people's elbow. He'd wave his hand in front of his face like, you can't see me, and then he'd run off the ropes, and then he would like brush his shoulder off and drive his fist into the dude's head.
So it's called it's his 6th move of doom. It's beyond the 5 moves of doom.
Oh shit!
Yeah, dude. It's called the Doomiest. John Cena, new finisher, Doomiest. Let me see if I can. So he does the F5 or the FU.
Okay.
Let me see.
He does the FU, the STFU, which actually I think he's changed. The FU is now the attitude adjustment.
Let me pull this up so you can watch it. He's powering up like Goku right now. Let me go back to the he does the FU. Doing the FU right now. I still can't get over his hair.
Yeah. Old man Hollywood seen as crazy.
Yeah, he's powering up like Goku right now. Does a backhanded fucking jab.
This has to be a house show. I feel like this is a house show.
Yeah, it was a house show, but still, it's like
they do all kinds of crazy shit at house shows.
Yeah,
that's funny. Yeah, I have heard about that. I actually never watched it, but that's funny.
Yeah, it is funny. So there's that. So
20 minutes on wrestling I wasn't expecting to have.
Yeah. So I've been listening to a fuck ton of podcasts this week. The Binge Mode is going deep into Binge Mode. They have 7 episodes so far, 7 movies. They talked about the MCU so far. They got into the Avengers, which is the end of the Phase 1. Came out in 2012, I believe. Yeah, somewhere around 2012. But I have a clip here from the episode before that. Oh, I'm sorry, the episode 6. They've done 7 seasons. This is episode 6 is the Avengers. Episode 5 was Captain America, the first Avenger. One that I was listening for, just for the they wax poetic on everything. They dive really deep into everything. I was looking for any facts that I might have overlooked over the years. I've seen every fact. I've seen every behind the scenes tidbit, whatever, about all these movies. So I was super surprised when they mentioned a thing from Thor, which I didn't know, or maybe I just overlooked. So at the beginning of Thor, the Red Skull is in Norway looking for the Tesseract. And he's in this old church, and the guy there that is played by I had his name here a second ago, but the guy that played in Game of Thrones, the Walder Frey is the old priest in the church, and he's trying to keep the Tesseract from Red Skull. And he looks over to this mural where the Tesseract is hidden, and the mural is a mural of the World Tree by Odin. So I thought that was interesting. How they kind of, I guess at some point Odin or somebody that worked for him hid the Tesseract on Earth in Norway, which I never put the dots together on that one. So that was interesting.
Huh.
Then they in Captain Marvel or Captain America, they are talking about does he fuck or not? And I sent a text to Dion to a link to a tweet survey where I'm going to look it up right now actually and see where that survey ended. So anybody else can write in. Do you think Captain America fucks? Dion, do you think Captain America fucks?
I think he fucks. He's definitely nailed Peggy. He might have nailed her granddaughter.
Yes. And
he definitely has a thing with the Winter Soldier.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Has a thing with the Winter Soldier? What does that mean?
Yeah, they plow. They touch. They dock.
Okay, buddy. All right.
He lays pipe, man. Yeah, him and Bucky laying pipe.
As you're talking, I'm trying to ignore this debauchery, this just awful, toxic.
It's 2020. It's fine, man. Come on. I'm not judging. I'm just saying what I think is happening. Yes.
I'm trying to find the goddamn tweet.
Think
I should
of
have
all
been prepared. I'm
the
sorry. I'm
damn
not a
shit
professional
that Cap
podcaster.
got up to. Think of all the damn shit Cap got up to save Bucky. He did more to help Bucky out than he did to get back with Peggy, man.
So the final result, the final tally of does Cap fuck on Binge Mode's Twitter survey, 15,000 votes in. The final results are 42% for Cap fucks, 57.7 Cap's a virgin.
How much? 30? What was he's a virgin?
Cap fucks got 57.7% of the votes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, Cap fucks.
So I want to play.
He also
a clip.
fucks over his best friend when he doesn't tell him that his other lover, his lover killed his mom.
His lover killed his mom.
Yeah.
Anyways,
he fucks over his best friend.
I have a clip here from Binge Mode's Captain Marvel episode, and they talk about go into great detail whether Captain America, Steve Rogers, is sexually active or not. I will summarize, unfortunately, because this piece of shit program won't load it. They were saying that, think about World War II America, the boys in blue shipping off to Europe, the ratio of man to woman is in Cap's favor. There are so many desperately whopped up women, wet ass pussied women, desperate for getting a dick down. Cap, there is no possible way that the guy that looks like Captain America, that has the strength of Captain America, is not getting some whop every single night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, listen, I said that he fucked.
Yes.
But I ain't saying he's out there throwing it out to anyone who comes up knocking on his door.
He's not?
Saying,
why not?
No. It's either Peggy or it's Bucky. You know what? I'm gonna throw the granddaughter out. The granddaughter was thirsty, but he was just like, nah. He's like, I like your grandma, so that's where I'm gonna find her. So he's definitely went to town on Peggy. He went back in time for that, you know. He went back in time. He abandoned his friends again to go back in time for this help. And then there's Bucky. We can't forget about Bucky.
No, until the end of the line.
Those two, but where his love was eternal. All right. Everybody else though, like just your random World War II biddy. No. He was too honorable for that. He was saving himself.
No. But no, you're missing the point. They're saying at the point at which right after Steve Rogers gets the serum, becomes Captain America. What's
yeah, okay, that's
right
what I was asking.
That.
If there was a
in
cutoff.
New York City, yeah.
So we're
New
saying
York
when
City,
he goes,
1943, New York City. Peggy is in Europe. Cap is in America, doing these world tours, doing these USO bond selling tours all over the country to raise money for the U.S. effort in Western Europe. He is getting dirty dicked down. He's laying pipe all over this great country of ours.
Okay, all right, we on the same page now.
Good. Yes.
Yeah, that's harder. I'm gonna go with no. I don't think so.
Wow.
Yeah. I know, it's crazy. It's crazy to see me come out and defend Captain America like this. But yeah, he's totally a virgin.
Well, you're not defending him. You're sort of putting him down because you're saying that he's not getting laid. But you're not saying by choice, are you?
No, I'm saying it's by choice, yeah.
But why would he not? Why would
I'm not putting him down. I'm not putting him down.
He's not in love with Peggy at this point. He hasn't had any sensual moments with her. He hasn't had any close moments with her up to this point.
He's Cap. 99% of the time, he knows what's morally right. The 1% is when his friend kills his other friend's mom and doesn't tell.
Yes, yeah. Okay.
But 99% of him, he knew in his heart that Peggy was the one. The second of two, because Bucky was there too.
I have to point out, because you're so focused on the Bucky part, Cap and the sacrifice that Iron Man I guess made a couple times or whatever. Cap made it first. Cap made the ultimate sacrifice first by bringing down that plane full of nuclear weapons, nuclear missiles. He downed the plane, very emotional moment at the end of Captain America, the First Avenger, where he's talking to Peggy and said, I guess I'll have to put off that dance for a while, save me a spot, and then puts the plane down in the Antarctic. Makes the ultimate sacrifice 7 decades before Mr. Stark did it himself.
Okay, so when Iron Man took the nuke out into space, we'll say, I'll give you, now it's tied 1-1. Okay.
Okay.
And then Iron Man risks his life, sacrifices himself to undo Thanos' snap. Spoiler.
Yeah.
So now the score is 2-1. Iron Man's still better than Cap. Checkmate.
Sure.
Checkmate.
Checkmate atheist. Sure, if that's the only thing you want to count by, then that's fine. Moving on. So any podcasts you want to talk about this week? Ringer podcast. Multiple Ringer podcasts I've listened to this week. Have you listened to any Ringer podcasts? Or
I
any
see
other
you got one
podcasts
on this list right here, actually. Where'd it go? The Connect. The Connect.
Connect, yes.
I listened to one too. Well, some of one. I didn't listen to the whole thing, but it was between. Okay, well, you want to talk about what the Connect actually is? I figured
yes.
you get to it.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So the Connect on their website, they say it's about Jason Concepcion and Shea Serrano discuss 2 movies.
Shea Serrano.
Things that connect them. Huh?
Shea Serrano. He goes on the Scrubs podcast a lot.
Oh, interesting.
Yep.
Each episode will focus on a theme. That theme can be anything from characters from similar movies, merciless mentors, and killer robots. They will then break down the connections of that main theme through a series of segments and games to share their love for not all these movies, but cinema and its themes as a whole. So,
yeah.
This week they did...
you go ahead.
Nice Sweater, Knives Out, and the Big Lebowski. And every week they do this game, like they said, where they have to name a theme or some sort of connective tissue between the two. And that's probably my favorite part of the show.
So is the theme Nice Sweaters?
Yeah, the theme this week was Nice Sweaters, indeed.
Okay. They do have nice sweaters and Knives Out. Yeah. The dude was wearing one too. He had that looked comfy. Yeah, that's a good point. Would have never made that connection. All right, the ones that I listened to, it was 10 Things I Hate About You, and what the hell was the other one? Sorry, I'm going off the top of my head.
Sorry, what were you saying?
Oh, you disappeared?
I said hold on. I say things a lot. You can't hear me. Last week I was saying, on the last podcast, I was saying, what the hell was it? You mispronounced something. What was it?
Okay. I listened back and I heard that. Yeah. You were trying to correct me, and I was just talking right over you.
Yeah. I had my cat likes to do this thing where he tries to open the cabinets, and he tries to get it half open and starts banging on the cabinet door. Yeah, it's great.
Same feed me, asshole.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry. You were
okay. So what I was saying. Oh yeah, that's the one. The one I listened to was Wedding Crashers and 10 Things I Hate About You.
Yeah, I listened to that as well.
Oh, did you? Okay, so you know what the Connect was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Asshole boyfriends. Yep.
Which was absolutely true, because I remember the Bradley Cooper character. That was the first time I think I was introduced to his character. Too. I'm like, that dude is an asshole, but he is hilarious.
Yes.
Did you ever watch 10 Things I Hate About You?
I have not seen it, unfortunately, yet.
What they were saying is absolutely true. You don't really, obviously you didn't consider it when you were watching it, but Heath Ledger and Julia Stiles absolutely do act the shit out of like everybody. Like they're just like levels above. But I had a huge crush on her younger sister in the show. I mean, that's kind of what they were going for anyways, I guess. She was supposed to be the one that nobody was like super attracted to. The younger sister was like, oh my God, everybody loves her. Oh. But yeah, I fell for it. Absolutely. I forget who she was.
Yeah, I'm looking up right here. 10 Things. So yeah, very good podcast. I like the game they play where they have to come up with something, and they were like, was it that episode where there was like, yeah, there was water in the background. And the other guy was like, that's not a thing. You can't, buzz it out. Can't do it. Not allowed. Don't allow that shit.
They both said words.
Yes.
So you said you never watched 10 Things I Hate About You, huh?
Right.
He had this hilarious bit in it where he was talking about how he thinks 10 Things I Hate About You was the origin story for the Joker.
Oh, yes. True.
Because there's a part in it where like he was trying to convince Heath Ledger's character to date the older sister because he wasn't able to go to the prom with the younger sister unless the older sister had a date. And they're in shop class, and he has a power drill. And he just immediately starts drilling in front of him. And Joseph Gordon, whatever his name is, he had his textbooks up against his chest.
Yes.
And he just starts drilling a hole into the books.
Right.
And it's just like, and he's smiling while he's doing it. And it was just like, that's attempted murder.
Yes, it is.
If those books weren't there, this kid's dead. And he's just like he's not even reacting. And
Right.
he just had all these other things where it's just kind of like, they went to a paintball field. And he's like, what is the thing you use when you're at a paintball field? Paint. What does the Joker paint him up or put on his face? Face paint. Huh?
Yep.
Huh? I'm like, damn. Like, I didn't see the connection there, but I'm catching it. They should have did Joker and 10 Things I Hate About You. He would have had a great connect for it.
Yeah. So the girl, the younger sister to, what is her name? Oh, I just had it. I'm sorry. 10 Things I Hate About You. Julie Stiles' younger sister is played by Larissa Oleynik, who was in Allison Mack.
Yes.
Alex Mack. Yeah.
I had a huge crush on Alex Mack. And it's not weird because I was also 11 at the time.
Yeah, exactly. So let's see. Larissa Oleynik's big break came when she was 8. She had gotten the part of young Cosette in a production of Les Miserables. Her co-star was Ryder Strong.
Ryder Strong.
Mm-hmm.
Hell of a name.
Yes, great name. One of the best names. Yep. Let's see. What was I going to say? So yeah, very good podcast.
I didn't really listen to a whole hell of a lot this week.
No.
I'm just now realizing it was just it wasn't a podcast week for me, I guess.
Right. Big picture. Again, a lot of the ringers. I'm getting balls deep into the Ringer Podcast Network shows. Connect. We just talked about Big Picture. Did a theme this week, which was garbage crime movies, which are, if you don't know what garbage crime movies are, it's movies from the last 10 or 12 years starring people like Liam Neeson, Denzel Washington, and Clive Owen. So think about things like The Transporter. Think like things like the, not The Transporter, what was that train movie he was in? Liam Neeson. The Passenger, I believe. What was it called? Something like that. Anyways, yeah, just White House Down, London Has Fallen, things like that. I think they're just trashy, bad action crime movies. 21 Bridges.
What has Denzel been in that qualifies for this list?
Well, I just read off a few. A couple.
Well, I mean, those were ones that had Liam in it, and the White House stuff was Clive Owen.
Not
Denzel.
Clive. Denzel was.
What was it? Denzel movie?
Denzel's trashy action movies are things like Two Guns, things like what was he in?
Sick.
Two Guns is trashy bad. You can enjoy it. I'm not saying you can't enjoy it. I'm just saying it's garbage crime. The Equalizer.
You gonna say Training Day was trashy bad?
Huh?
You gonna say Training Day was trashy bad?
No, they didn't mention that one. That was not trashy bad.
Oh yeah, that wasn't. Gangster.
American Gangster is not trash.
Okay.
So hold on.
Equalizer 2?
Yes, yeah. Hold on.
I'm looking now.
You have to make a distinction between these movies that you're rattling off. Two Guns is garbage crime. Equalizer is garbage crime. Magnificent Seven can probably be put in there because it's not a very good movie. We're looking at things like Two Guns again.
Out of Time. That's one.
Safe House is a very good example of garbage crime.
I'm looking now and I'm seeing that there were a lot of movies that he
yes
was in that could be qualified as trashy.
Trashy, yeah. So, like they said on the show, they were saying things like the pillars, the elements, the biggest elements of a movie of a good identifier. Sorry, what I meant to say. A good identifier of a treachery bad movie can be in the title itself. It has death, gun, safe, death, or pain in the title, like safe house. You have a what is it called? No one is safe. What is that called? Like on the movie poster, you always have the title, and you also have the
tagline.
Tagline, thank you. Tagline is always something pretty trashy and pretty generic.
Like those two awful ones that I had for the cage match.
Exactly. Exactly.
Those
So,
are terrible.
it's. I think you have to make a distinction between, like you said, garbage crime is not something that is universally loved. It's something that you go on Rotten Tomatoes is going to have probably 30-40% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's never going to win an award. It is a guilty pleasure would probably be a good way to phrase it. Battleship could be garbage crime. It's a big scope. It's got a giant scope to it, but it's still not great. It's a bad movie.
Garbage action.
Huh?
Garbage action.
Garbage action. That's a good phrase. Yes, exactly. So it is a very specific, very very detailed, very limited sort of genre of movie, but I think is an interesting thing to discuss.
Yeah, I mean, I tilted a little because you besmirched Denzel Washington's name. Well, I understand now it's not you weren't being rude, but when you had him in this category with these two other guys, I feel like all of Liam Neeson and all of Clive Owen's movies are garbage crime.
No, they're not at all.
Really?
No. Like Clive Owen, like they said, like Clive Owen was the man in like 2005, 2007. Let me go through the list here. He was in Sin City, Closer, King Arthur. I don't know. I haven't seen King Arthur. I don't know if it was good or not. And then Inside Man 2006 also Children of Men. And then just this hard turn to garbage crime with Shoot Up the following year in 2007. Killer Elite in 2011. Again, that's a perfect name for a garbage crime movie. Killer Elite. It's like a Steven Seagal movie, basically. If you just picture like, a Steven Seagal movie with a B-list or an A-list actor in it is a really good distillation of what a garbage crime movie is. You just go through his biography after 2007. Killer Elite, Intruders, Blood Ties, another great garbage crime title. Killer in Red, The Informer. Just goes off a cliff really, really quickly.
I mean, another classification for garbage crime, I think you focus on the keywords. If the cover art has him holding a gun.
Yes. Yep. Gerard Butler is also a good example of a guy who pivoted from pretty great movies, pretty good movies, and then goes on this run.
Gerard Butler. I actually meant Gerard Butler when I said Clive Owen.
Oh, okay.
I felt like Gerard Butler could have been on this.
Yeah. You have like Reign of Fire. He's in 2002. He's in the second Lara Croft movie. He's in Beowulf and Grendel.
Law-abiding citizen. Oh, you're doing the other one. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, he's in 300. Great,
Did you say
great
300?
movie. Yeah. I'll stand by that as a great movie. But like you said, law-abiding citizen, then goes off a cliff after law-abiding citizen. Gods of Egypt. London Has Fallen. Or was it White House Down? You know what it is? White House Down. I keep mixing up White House Down and Olympus Has Fallen. They came out the same year. That's one of those
White House Down with my name is Jeff.
Say it again.
My name is Jeff. What's his name?
White House Down is Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum. Yeah, my name is Jeff.
Yeah, that White House Down and what was the movie I just literally said? White House Down and Olympus Has Fallen is the Volcano and Dante's Peak of that year.
I can't forget about The Ugly Truth.
I mean, you can. You could really try to.
You ever watch
you it? Can. Rock and Rolla. He's in Rock and Roll in 2008. P.S. I Love You. He does all these like rom-com schlocky things along with Garbage
Dracula
Crime.
2000. Did you mention that?
Yeah, Dracula 2000. Oh boy.
Do you remember Dracula 2000?
He was Dracula in Dracula 2000? I had no idea.
That soundtrack slaps, dude.
Okay.
I'm not even playing. That's a hill I'll die on.
You got Vitamin C. Johnny Lee Miller, Christopher Plummer, and Gerard Butler as the titular Dracula. Danny Masterson, Sean Patrick Thomas, Omar Epps, Jennifer Esposito. Wow. Stellar cast. Shane West and Nathan Fillion. Jerry Ryan. Holy fuck. This is Dracula 2000 that we're talking about, if you can figure it out. Holy fuck. Anyway, again, Dracula 2000 and what was the one with the soundtrack? Village of the Damned. What was the Dracula movie?
Queen of the Damned.
Queen of the Damned, thank you.
Queen of the Damned. That soundtrack slapped as well.
Sure.
Let me tell you, you want to hear the Dracula one real quick? Had
Yes.
Power Man 5000,
Go ahead.
Disturbed, Slayer, System of a Down, Monster Magnet, Marilyn Manson, Linkin Park, Pantera, Static X, Head PE, Taproot, and maybe Sliva, and then there was Endo, Flybanger, and Half Cock. But I mean, that is pretty loaded.
It's a loaded.
That's like prime 2000 right there.
Yeah, exactly. That is 2000. I'll say 2000. That is 2000 new metal. If you want some 2000 new metal, get Dracula 2000 soundtrack or Queen of the Damned soundtrack, and you'll have them all right there.
That'd be incredible.
You don't need anything else.
Great time. Yep.
You don't need what were those now this is what I call music. You don't need to get the now
This is what I call
new metal.
music, yeah.
You just get Dracula 2000 soundtrack.
Absolutely.
Okay, let me see. I thought there was some other. Let me just make sure. Yeah, the Ringer, great podcast network. Got the Connect, Big Picture, Binge Mode, and the Rewatchables. Fantastic podcast.
Yep.
Network.
Sometimes, I mean, I don't have enough. Yeah. I know you do. I don't always have enough time to check out all the podcasts. I mean, I'll listen to Bill Simmons every time he puts one out.
Right.
Sometimes I'll check out the Rewatchables if it's a movie that I'm actually interested in.
Yeah.
But or that I've seen, so I actually know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah, his sports podcast can go anywhere from like an hour to hour and a half to about 2.5 hours. So
yeah.
I'll get to a point when I'm a little bit cooked and it's like, all right, well, I think I need to stop with the podcast. I know you can go for hours.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I have to.
Hours, but
at these 12-hour shifts
for
where I'm
days.
literally just watching the machine do its thing, and I have no reason to intervene on anything for like 2 hours. So I'll crank out like, 2 or 3 at 1.5 speed. I'm cranking it up a little bit. I got some of them at 1.7.
That's nuts.
Some people talk way too slow for 1.5 even. Yeah, it works. Again, my brain just works faster than yours, so unfortunately.
It must be because I get to a point too where it's like I'll be listening to a podcast and I'll start checking something out on my phone and I'll be like, I don't even know what the fuck they just said.
Right.
I've lost track. Where are we in this conversation?
Yeah.
So it's like I can't multitask. I can barely listen well enough
to one person
without doing anything else.
Yeah,
there's a point where it's just kind of like, all right, I need to take a break. My brain is having information overload to the point where it no longer cares if somebody is speaking right into my face. It's not processing anything. Time for timeout.
So I have not just the sped up effect, I also have a trim silence playback effect. And it says on there that because of the trim silence playback effect, I've saved 16 days, 49 minutes, and 5 seconds.
That's absurd.
It is absurd.
It's like a reverse counter. Like it probably made you feel good. You're like, wow, I got 16 days of my life back. Right?
Yes, exactly.
It's like a reverse counter. Like when we have those, when you're playing like an online game and you go like all time or something like that, and it tells you the amount of time that you've played the game for, and it's like, I had Final Fantasy 11 on for like an entire year. I know that's probably nothing compared to what you had, but it literally said 1 year and then like X amount of days, weeks, and it's just like, holy crap, this game has been on my television for like a year.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
It's funny. Have you actually, eventually the voices they sound normal to you, obviously, because you keep bumping it up.
Yes.
But then, like, say they play a song in the pod, and then you hear the song and it's going super fast.
Yeah.
Holy shit! This is where I'm at now. Like, you feel like kind of like an evolved human, because I'm only at 1.25.
Yeah.
And I've gotten used to the voice. They don't sound like they're going any faster than they were, but then they'll play like their theme song.
Yeah.
Like, I'll hear Pearl Jam and it's just like, whoa, that's actually faster. Like, I can process words faster now? Question mark. Am I a superhero?
Yeah, we're evolving. I'm telling you. Like, I am pushing our species forward by listening to podcasts at 1.75 speed, and you can thank me later.
1.75 is insane, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, now I just need to...
So what do you like when you hear a song and it's going 1.75? You're like, oh, like, it jolts you, right?
Yeah, the... what podcast is it? It's one of the... where is it? The music podcast that Last Podcast does. No Dogs in Space. They did Joy Division this week. Joy Division, I looked this up and I wanted to... check out the library before they went into it, because I haven't really ever heard Joy Division before, and they only had like 2 albums, and it is very like it's not your jam, not really my jam either.
No,
it's very ethereal, very ambiance-y sort of sounding. Very. If you ever heard The Cure or The Smiths, they're very similar to stuff like that. So not my jam at all. But I went back and listened to it on Spotify, and they only have 2 albums, so I just went through both of those real quick. And then you are absolutely right. Like they'll play clips from their songs and from bands that influence them, and playing the podcast at 1.5 speed. It gets sort of absurd with their music, but especially with stuff like Dead Kennedys, that is already very, very fast.
Yeah, you bringing that up, I was thinking about it. It's like what you said, it's already very fast, and there's a lot of like crash on it and everything. So at some point it has to sound like someone like has like a pan next to your head. It's going ting, 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 ting.
Yeah. So, moving on. Going a little bit long here, but I want to mention a riddle I heard on Hey Riddle this week. Very basic riddle. You can figure this out very quickly. You might be able to. So, the riddle is, George is Rita's son. Rita is George's blank. What is Rita to George?
George is Rita's son.
Yep.
That would have to mean Rita is George's parent.
Well, mother, yes, but you got it. It's one of those where it's like, it's so obvious, you think, the obvious answer can't be the right answer. So let me look for the zebra. There's this.
Yeah, the only reason why this seems so obvious is because there were no other clues. There wasn't anything kind of misleading about it.
Yeah.
Like I could be like, Rita is George's father.
Right. Uncle?
You don't know.
Aunt? What?
Well, I mean, you said it's a son, so it's either mother or father. And you would assume that because the name's Rita, it would be a mother. But no, it'd be like, no, it's actually his father. His name's Rita.
Yes.
Okay.
Let me plop in a movie I saw last night, which has to do with mothers and sons. It's called Incendies. It is Denis Villeneuve's one of his first movies. He's the director of Blade Runner 2049, Prisoners, Enemy. I believe he's done some other movies, but I watched one of his first movies last night. And the reason I bring it up right after that riddle is because it's got a pretty big twist in it. So do you think I can talk about this? Do you think you'll watch this movie?
No, go for it.
Sure. So Incendies.
Spoilers incoming.
Spoilers incoming in 3, 2, 1. Let me look up the actual Incendies. The what do you call it? The summary on IMDb real quick. Incendies. Professional would have had this pulled up already.
Yeah, you even did the countdown, like spoilers in 3, 2, 1, and then you had nothing prepared.
So the summary of this movie is twins journey to the Middle East to discover their family history and fulfill their mother's last wishes. So the plot of this is that the twins' mother is dying. She had a stroke, and she gave them a will. And in her will, the mother asked her twins to find their brother and their father. And so they have to go to the Middle East to find their brother and father. And in their research, they discover that their brother is their father. the way this worked was their half brother. Technically, their half brother is their father. The reason for that is their mother was a political revolutionary, a political what do you call that? What am I? The radical. She's a political radical. She murdered a right wing leader in her country like 20 years ago, and actually before she did that, she had a son out of wedlock. So her family disowned the baby, gave the baby away. Let's say, what was it? Must have been 15, 20 years before that. And then later on, she becomes a revolutionary, kills the right-wing leader, gets locked up and tortured in this torture facility. The guard that's guarding her beats her, rapes her, impregnates her. That impregnation led to the twins that are now doing the investigation to find the father and their brother. The problem is the guard that was raping her in the jail cell was her son. So her son raped her, and so not only was it a twins born out of incest, it was also born out of rape, which was super disturbing to realize. Yeah. So yeah,
that came from someone's head.
That came from someone's head, exactly, like we always talk about.
I want to make that a T-shirt.
Yeah, it came from someone's head.
This was
exactly.
someone's idea.
Real quick, I watched another fucked up movie called Martyrs. This is a movie from 2009. It came out of this so-called Italian horror renaissance that was in the mid to late 2000s. This movie is about this girl who was kidnapped and tortured, and she escaped. And then years later, she goes back to seek revenge on her torturers, and her friend that joins her in her revenge plot gets kidnapped by the same people. Basically, it was the people that kidnapped her was just a normal family, mother and father. They have some kids. They all get murdered at the very beginning of the movie. But then you realize they are just one link in this giant organization that makes their their plot, that their main goal is to martyr people in order for them to tell them what the other side looks like. That like they're supposed to tell them what death looks like, basically. So this woman that is the product of this torture, they flay her alive, they skin her alive at the end, and they she stays alive because she's what the only person so far that has had enough willpower to stay alive throughout the process of being flayed, and she whispers in the head woman's ear what she sees, and the woman's eyes go wide. She backs up and blows her brains out and before she killed herself, she tells her second in command, she's like, "Do you want it? Have you ever thought about what's in the afterlife?" And he's like, "No, I haven't." She's like, "Keep doubting," and she blows her head off. So yeah, pretty fucked up movie called Martyrs.
Wait, hold up.
Yes.
Did she had to realize that if she killed herself, then she would go to the afterlife, right?
She basically what somebody I looked this up like later on, explain the ending to me, and somebody said basically that the thing that she had whispered in her ear made it so that she her whole life's work was to discover what's after this life, and whatever she heard made her suicidal. And she knew that if she told, there was this whole gathering at this facility, and her assistant told everyone, "Okay, everyone, you're going to hear in a second what is, in the afterlife." And then the woman tells him, No, I'm not going to tell them anything. I can't. Well, she didn't say this, but basically by killing herself, she told them this, that if she tells everyone what comes next, nobody's going to want to live. If she says what the woman told her, she's going to cause a mass panic and mass suicide. So to prevent that, she killed herself instead. Yes. Yeah. So it's basically
maybe she just wanted to get there faster.
Huh?
Maybe she just wanted to get there faster.
Maybe. It could be. Yeah.
That
I don't know.
Sounds sweet. Boom.
Good analysis or something.
Nice take.
Good take. Nice take. Real quick, couple more things. I got some Criterion 4K Blu-rays for my 4K TV. There is definitely a difference. I'm sort of mourning the loss of my not just my collection of physical media, but just physical media in general, because I didn't realize this, how much different a 4K Blu-ray can look on a 4K TV as opposed to 4K streaming. Like I've watched some things that are streaming in 4K, which isn't that much right now. Netflix and other streaming services have a couple of things that are in UHD and in 4K quality, but it still doesn't match the quality of a Blu-ray. I just realized. So I watched Night of the Living Dead. I never saw it before, from 1968. It's very good. George Romero's first zombie movie ever. It was very good. I also watched Silence of the Lambs in 4K. Still a fucking great movie. And I watched Thief from 1986, directed by Michael Mann. It was very good. Very, very good. You've seen Silence of the Lambs, correct?
Yeah, I was about to say, so on 4K, how did it look when he was saying how he wanted the fava beans?
Unless you're going to say, how does his waist look? How do the guy's genitals look being tucked back as he backs up in front of the camera? You see every pubis.
That's the part you want to share.
How did his pubis mound look in 4K? Yeah, it looks pretty good actually. There's a couple things I didn't realize, which is that at the very beginning of this movie, well, near the beginning, when Clarice first interviews Lecter, he basically doesn't give her much to work on. She asked him for information, and he basically says, I have nothing to give you. And as she's leaving the facility, and one of the crazy people next door to his cell, in the cell next to his, is butt-ass naked, jerking off in the corner. And as she leaves, she looks at him, and he throws his semen at her and flings it at her face. And I was like, what the fuck? I don't remember this part at all.
No, now.
You remember that part?
In 4K, it was incredible.
In 4K, it was amazing. You see all the just brilliantly lit up. Just the droplets of semen were immaculately displayed in 4K. Yeah.
Kersploosh.
The ropes. The ropes he was shooting was amazing. Got some of that Yumnut in her face.
Yumnut.
Nice. Yeah, it was very good. Still a great movie. Then a couple things I'm going to rattle off real quick. Haunt is a movie from 2019, I would say, 2018. It's another one of these adults looking for extreme haunted houses, and they find it, and it doesn't go well. Wolf of Snow Hollow, I give a 6 out of 10. The acting was atrocious. This guy named Jim Cummings wrote and directed and starred in this movie. I think he should have not starred in this movie. He's not a great actor. Really dragged the whole thing down, so I give that a 6 out of 10. And then I watched Sinister.
Tickled me.
Huh?
Yeah, there was a haunted house, and it did not go well.
It did not go well. Yep.
And then you just moved on. That was brilliant. Amazing.
Well, we're running long here, so I'm trying to cut these down a little bit. Let's see. You recommended Sinister to me a little while ago, directed by Scott Derrickson, who directed Doctor Strange. You can see the influences from
Which
that.
Which was recommended to me by Aldo.
Huh?
Which was recommended to me by Aldo.
Oh, okay. So that's cool. Very, very good movie.
He nominated it on the Halloween list that we did. The bracket.
Yeah.
Yep.
I guess I thought I had seen this movie, but I guess I haven't. I've never seen this movie before.
Yeah, I feel like once you watch it, you're like, yeah, I definitely haven't watched this movie.
No, it is very good.
I would remember this.
It's very good.
Yeah.
Ethan Hawke is very.
Yeah. Did you like the use of the home videos?
Yeah.
I thought that was really.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Anything where you have just an image that you're watching over and over again, and any difference in it, you're going to notice right away. So you notice I forgot the name of the demon in it, but you definitely notice his face in certain corners of the screen, certain in the background, in the leaves and stuff. Yep. So yeah, it was very well done.
Yep. Yeah, I watched this a little bit after. I've got old high 8 tapes of backyard wrestling and stuff like that. So every now and then I'm downstairs and I'm checking them out and just having fun with it. And it's like after having done that and then watching that movie is kind of like frick. It's like I'm gonna see that guy's face underneath the trampoline one of these times.
Yeah. So real quick, you recorded wrestling in what, 99, 2000?
No, later than that. I'd say it was probably like 05, 06.
So when you say Super 8, you
09?
don't mean reels. You mean like the tape itself, like the square tape.
Oh, it was a high 8. Isn't it?
High 8, right.
What they call it. Yeah.
But it's not.
Not reels. It was on a tape, a video
Yeah.
recorder.
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering, like, you had a.
Yeah, I didn't have like one of those old timey cameras going on. Someone was cranking it while we're like, black and white. I can only watch it in black and white.
Yes, exactly. A couple more here. Sleepaway Camp from 1980. I don't know, 7. I don't have the year here. Actually have it written down. Sleepaway Camp. I have a couple here that I didn't write down, or I did write down. Sleepaway Camp. Did I not put it in here? Holy shit! I didn't write it down. I'm in my big old list. My big old list of movies I watched this year. Did not even put it in there. Sleepaway Camp, let's say from '86, has a iconic ending to this. Again, spoilers in 3, 2, 1. The killer is I don't know if you'd call it, what do you call in 2020 a trans person, but it is a male boy, was a survivor of a boat wreck 20 years ago or 15 years ago, and then his the aunt he goes to live with makes him wear girls' clothing, and so this person goes to camp, starts murdering all their fellow campers, and at the end there's this sort of iconic pose that they are in where you discover that it is in fact a boy the entire time. Let me try to pull it up here because this is kind of creepy.
It didn't end with him jacking off in the corner and throwing his semen, did it?
No. So let me it's right here. It's a very disturbing sound.
Oh, I love
that they're making
sounds.
And the face that she's making. Very disturbing face.
She's just like a mirror.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
Is she normal? Is this one normal?
She's a normal person, but yeah, the face and the posture.
Why do they look alike?
Huh?
Why do they look alike? This chick right here and the screaming thing look alike. Are they the same people?
They're not the same person.
No, see,
this person, yeah.
That looks like her though.
Looks like who?
The screaming chick.
She is the screaming chick.
Not the one that was. She is the screaming chick.
Yeah, she is.
So you got these two.
Right.
Okay, keep going. Oh, okay, so that is her. Okay. That one.
That
Who's
one,
she?
yeah.
That's her.
She's the murderer.
That's him.
That's the boy. Yeah, it's a boy, yes, but it was made up to look like a girl.
Okay, all right. They're going back and forth to jog your memory now, right?
So that you're saying this
is the big...
This
is the big reveal.
The big reveal is that the girl was a boy.
Yeah, okay. I'm with you.
Yes.
This could be a thing. You just show me the end of... You just show me the ends of movies. This could be a thing. And I just completely out of context try to get... The whole idea of what was going on in this movie.
That'd be good. Again, I watched. Sorry, I keep adding things to the list here. Addams Family. Watched Addams Family and Addams Family Values. Again, like the jokes. Yeah, the great movies. The jokes from back then I didn't get until now. They're all very funny.
Gomez is my dude.
Gomez is fucking awesome. Motisha, mi amore. Yeah, fucking great. Michari. Yeah. That dance scene in the restaurant they're in, that whole dance scene is fucking great. Yep. Great movie. So, American Utopia is basically a 2020 version of the Talking Heads' Stop Making Sense from 1987, I want to say, or 88. Definitely check that out. That's on HBO Max. If you have HBO, subscribe to that. You can see that. It's very good. I watched a horror movie called The Dark and the Wicked. This is from the same director as The Strangers. So I know you're a big fan of The Strangers, or fan in quotation marks.
Super big fan.
Yeah. In quotation marks, right? So I mean,
I don't remember that movie vividly, and it haunts my dreams at night still to this day.
Yeah. Brian Bertino, the director of The Strangers, directed this in 2020, starring Marin Ireland and Michael Abbott. They are brother and sister, and they go home to take care of their dying father. And weird shit starts happening as per usual. Can I talk about this? You're going to watch this or no? Nope, as usual. So Brian, the brother and sister take care of their dying father, and the mother kills herself at near the beginning. She cuts off her fingers, hangs herself in the shed, not a shed. What do you call that? The barn. She goes, hangs herself in the barn. And then the daughter starts seeing weird shit. So you assume it's one of these like, okay, the mother had a mental illness and is going down to the daughter. But then the brother starts seeing weird shit too. So now, and then also a priest starts seeing weird shit, and the uncle, the dying father's brother starts seeing weird shit. He kills himself. Basically everyone that comes in contact with this house and the father and goes into the room with the father ends up killing themselves. One of the most disturbing endings, final scenes, final images I've seen in a long time. So the brother leaves, says, I'm fucking done with this shit. Makes the smart move, right? That you don't ever see in horror movies, which is, just basically takes his shit and leaves. Very smart move, right?
Yes.
So he leaves, goes back home, sees his two daughters and wife are dead. Either the wife killed herself and killed the daughters, or everyone killed themselves. So he sees this, walks into the kitchen, sees the scene, cuts his own throat, walks over to the sink, is dying, and then he blinks his eyes. None of that was real. He hallucinated all of that. And then you see the mother and the actual daughters come into the room and see the husband / father dead on the floor. So that was not the end scene, but one of the most disturbing scenes of that movie. And then basically ends with the sister, the daughter, or the main character surviving into the end, and you just see this quick shot of the father sitting up and biting her in the face. So,
God,
yeah, yep.
So that's more effed up than the Strangers.
I think so. I think it has. They both have very good building of dread, very good scene setting, very good ambiance. It is a modern modern sort of modern tale in the country, but has a lot of these movies that I'm watching now have kind of a sheen to it that I feel like is too good. You know what I mean? Like if you're watching a movie and it's lit very well, and the camera is a high quality camera and has high quality background scenes, and it just you know what I mean? You know what I mean by looking too good? It just looks too shiny. Yeah, I think they're using this camera called the Alexa, which is this like $1 million camera that people use, like Roger Deakins used on 1917. I think people are getting their hands on like these prosumer cameras and camera lenses that just make a movie that like this, that should be using a lower quality camera, and it just looks too good. I don't know how other to describe it, other than that just the environment that they're shooting in and the story they're trying to tell is too small and too intimate to be using a high quality camera like that, if that makes any sense.
No, that makes sense. I get it.
Yeah. Lastly, huh?
Nope.
No. What?
Didn't say nothing.
Okay. I think there's a bug here where when I'm talking, I think it goes as I'm talking right now, your little Iron Man thing is lighting up. So there's some sort of wires crossing where if I'm talking, it's going through your input as well. So you have to figure that out at some point.
You might be getting my nose breathing.
Could be.
Might be getting my nose breathing.
Could be.
My mouth breathing, actually.
Yeah, you're a mouth.
I'm a mouth breather.
You are. Let's see. I'll move on to what I was listening to, which is Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, which is one.
Hold on, I've been watching something.
You've been watching something, okay?
You gonna ask me if I've been watching something?
You watched Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, didn't you?
I have, but that was not what I was going for.
Okay, what were you going for?
I jumped back into Raised by Wolves.
Oh, nice. How was that?
The Ridley Scott, he executive produced by Ridley Scott. He directed the first 2 episodes, but it's a sci-fi stuff, androids and trying to raise kids on Kepler 22b. I think that's the planet. I don't know, the Earth lookalike, or the you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyways, so she's still crazy. she's the power she got is nuts. It never gets old seeing her vaporize people with screams. But it's very interesting. I'm not going to spoil too much because I'm sure people are watching this. Actually, I took a break, so maybe everybody's done by now. Either way, business is picking up. Religion is. It's funny when you're watching something and it's like you got this non-believer in your ranks, and then something happens and they're just like, oh shit, like the 180 you can trick yourself into doing, the shit you can believe when you're against the wall and everything like that. It's always fascinating to watch. And it's you're learning more about the android and things that you thought were happening. It's actually not that at all, and it's all by design. And yeah, I'm enjoying it, and I'm looking forward to seeing how the first season concludes, because the second season is, I think, coming out eventually, sometime close, maybe probably next year. So I encourage everyone to check it out if you're into sci-fi stuff, because
fantastic.
Basically, your basic sci-fi stuff with a little bit of a twist.
Nice. That's on HBO Max. Is that where that is?
HBO Max, and recently they had an update for Roku's, where I can airdrop, so I can finally watch HBO Max on my television, and I don't have to just sit there and watch my phone the whole time. Because HBO Max was like, Roku was trying to strike a deal with them, or maybe the other way around, and they weren't getting enough money. Fire Sticks too. I think HBO Max, you can't use that app on their device, but now you can airdrop from your iPhone to Roku, and it works now. So that's cool.
Is there a lot of
iPhone's been pumping out a lot of updates that I'm on board with. They got like picture in picture. Now you can like minimize the what you're watching, and you can still do shit while you're watching the show.
That's cool.
Which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is there I'm assuming you're not as much of a visual buff as I am. Is there a lot of buffering between you're sending it from your phone, and then you're sending it to your Roku, and then the Roku has to process that as well. So you would think there'd be a lot of buffering. Is there a lot of buffering in there?
Yeah, it would piss you off. It's not so much buffering, but when it's sharp, it's sharp. You can tell.
Yeah.
It's not too bad. What will actually happen is it'll just kind of freeze. And sometimes it'll kind of stop, and then it'll like fast forward to the point. So it's got that going for it, which is infuriating. But as far as detail wise, while I haven't had the pleasure of watching a 4K video with you, it looks fine to me.
Yeah.
But it's probably the equivalent of eye sodomy for you.
Probably would be, yeah. So that's cool. How many episodes are there, and what are they up to?
I'm guessing 10, and I'm at 7. And season 2 isn't out yet, I don't believe.
Let me see. Here's my rules episodes. Seems to be 6, you're saying? Well, it is up to 6 right now.
I'm at 7, and there's 10 episodes in the first season.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. That's cool. Anything else you've been watching this week?
No.
Sure. You don't want to.
Well, no, I did. We watched Harry Potter. We watched it with the kids.
I want to tease next week's cage match.
Sure.
Yes. Yeah. So you watched it with the kids. That's interesting. What did they think?
Yeah. So he said cage match, but we got Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. Harry Potter #1 going up against
the
Lord of the Rings.
The
Fellowship of the Rings. That should be a fun matchup.
Should be, yes.
Tune in next week.
Listen to it. Yes.
Ryan, they had these funny moments where Carrie was like, there's nothing crazy that goes on in this, right? And I'm like, yeah, they should be able to handle it. I'm like, there are some parts where it's like, I was like, this might be a little troubling. Like, there's a part where Voldemort is eating on a unicorn. And I'm like, well, that could be kind of graphic for a 6-year-old.
Yeah.
And sure, there were parts, my 6-year-old doesn't like dogs. And I was like, hey, James, check this thing out. And they got, Hagrid's got this 3-headed dog, this Cerberus, guarding a door called Fluffy. And there were parts in the movie where I've watched this all before. I've watched all the Harry Potters. And I would turn around and look at him, and I would just stare at him and watch his reaction. And his eyes at that point were like as wide as they could get.
Right.
And he's just like locked in fear, like watching TV. Like usually when he sees something he doesn't like or makes him uncomfortable, he'll tilt his head down and he'll like kind of peek up. It's just like a kid's hiding his face or whatever. But he could not look away from the Cerberus coming from Fluffy. I started cracking up. I'm like pointing the camera. I was like, look it up. He's so scared. So there were parts in there that he was afraid of, but he thought a lot was pretty fun.
That's cool.
Obviously, you deal with wizards and magic and funky stuff, so he might be still too young to fully appreciate it, but I think it's good for him.
Yeah,
he can be a little bit of a wimp sometimes.
Right.
It's cute, it's adorable, but Harry Potter will toughen him up.
Yeah. What did you think on the rewatch? Just give us your.
Oh man, I guess not to spoil too much. The acting, I suppose, isn't as great as I once. Well, as I can remember. And when I say great, I wouldn't say really great. This version of Dumbledore, I guess was kind of boring. I know people kind of love him and everything, but I really like the second Dumbledore better. Rest in peace, dude. I'm sorry. And children, I mean, you can tell it's children acting. So that kind of, it's just like these pauses, and it's just like, it almost feels like, what's my line? And they just kind of like had to keep the camera on him. It's just like, all right, you'll get it right eventually. And then they just kind of spliced it together in some scenes. But you can definitely tell the movie's a little dated. Ultimately, though, I still like the story. I used to shit on Harry Potter so much, and then I actually took the time to read the books. The books are actually so much better than the movies, but I don't think the movies do it any kind of disservice. But then I started to appreciate the movies later on, and as you get further into the series, it gets darker. And while this one, it's very like, it's the introduction to the series, and it's good for what it sets up. But I definitely like the later ones better than this.
Yeah, I have not watched any of well, I've watched all the Harry Potters. I haven't read the books. I read the book, the first one, a few days ago to get ready for the movie. Rewatched the movie, very good still. I have a couple notes here, not to spoil much, but like you said, the acting of the kids isn't great, but Hermione is definitely head and shoulders above the other two, I believe.
Thank you.
Yes.
I said the same thing. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it is
Carrie was like, she's not this much of a know-it-all through the whole thing, is she? I'm like, buckle in, buddy.
It's two things. I think it's the character of Hermione being one of the most competent wizards of the three and of Hogwarts in general, but also it's probably a little bit of Emma Watson, not Emily Watson, right? Emma Watson.
Yeah, Emma Watson.
Emma Watson being a better actor than the other two. I think that has something to do with it. So.
She's adorable.
She's great.
Like, I don't know. Just, every time that she's just got like the face, like the eyes that just kind of like light up whatever scene she's in.
Yeah. She's very good. I like that a lot. I like the book a lot. But like you said, the book goes into much more detail than the movie. But I like them both probably equally.
So equally?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess that answers the question.
Yes. So yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I used to shit on the books a lot, and then I actually read the books, and I was like, wow, these are actually pretty dope. And yeah, you're right. I think for at this point, the book and the first movie don't really get too wildly different from each other. But there's definitely, you can see the edge later on in the movies, but you can, when you're reading the books, I think the books do it a lot more justice. Just telling the story and just getting an older audience. I definitely, I'll say I underestimated the books a lot, and I apologize.
Yeah.
I've been shown the light.
Yeah. The author, notwithstanding her political views, notwithstanding, the books and movies are still very good.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, look forward to movie Cage Match. The
Final
Fantasy Spectacular, Monday the 23rd, next Monday. It should drop then. We record it this Saturday. One more thing before we go. I have a trailer here for a movie called Wild Mountain Thyme. Thyme spelled Thyme. This is a movie that's supposed to be coming out in 2020. Could be probably on digital, on demand, all that stuff. Starring Emily Blunt and Jamie Dornan. And what's the guy's name? Who's the Christopher Walken. So off the top of my head, I'm going to say none of these people are Irish, and the reason I wanted to show this trailer is that they all have varying degrees of an Irish accent. So you be the judge if you like them or not, if they're close or not. For the trailer.
Welcome to Ireland. Once upon a time,
Right.
there were two farms. The Muldoon farm, where Rosemary lived, and right down the road was my farm, where my son Anthony asked his lonely question of the stars.
Why did you make me so?
Rosemary Muldoon besotted with love.
There's these green fields, and there's us. Whatever that is, it holds me here.
When he says those things.
It's not normal.
I don't care.
You take after John Kelly, and that man was mad as the full moon, drowned himself.
He fell in.
He had a rock tied to his neck.
Rosemary, we're known to each other quite a while now. Would you marry me?
Are you going to leave the farm to Anthony?
I don't see a clear path
From where to where?
from me to you.
My cousin is coming. What do you think?
It's the finest car I've ever seen.
Get out from the farm to an American. I'm waiting for that one.
What are you waiting for?
Me, I don't wait.
I do like that.
You should come to New York sometime.
Anthony will never marry.
If it comes to that, I'll freeze my eggs.
You should freeze your whole body if you're waiting for that one.
We ever had a dream since you were a child and you couldn't let it go.
So you put this gate between us?
Has your dream made you happy or miserable?
You kissed him!
It was he that kissed me!
That's what's got him worked up. I don't understand you people.
He kissed me. You'll kiss him. He kissed you.
Accept these crazy
It was
things.
him.
Fight.
Well, who does?
Half of Ireland, just not me.
Half of Ireland, just not me. Jimmy Dornan, John Hamm, Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken.
It's running out.
Not great.
What is love?
Christopher Walken just sounds like Christopher Walken.
Yeah. Well, he's trying to put on an Irish accent. You can hear it at the beginning.
Sunshine.
I can hear, yeah, he's trying, but
But it is.
I believe that it is. So, let me see. Let me go back here.
Welcome to Ireland.
Welcome to Ireland.
Once upon a time,
What's up? No, he's not even trying.
the Muldoon farm, where Rosemary...
yeah, that's what-
Dude.
yeah.
Muldoon Farm. Oh, he's like,
I was really gonna say some are
Struggling.
going a little harder than the others.
yeah, struggling with that accent. The Muldoon Farm. Something, I don't know. It's close, I guess. I don't know.
He had a rock around his neck.
Let me hear your Irish. Give me an Irish.
Let's put another shrimp on the bottom. My Irish, let's see. Man, you put me on the spot. Shoot. What Irish? Give me a phrase.
The Shamrock. Shine the
Let me-
Shamrock. The shiny the Shamrock Shake. The McDonald's.
Oh, yeah, okay. That's me Lucky Charms. There you go.
That's good. Yeah, don't take me Lucky
Thanks,
Charms.
man.
Yada-da-da. Stars and horseshoes and clovers. Shopping up balloons. Yeah. Stars and horseshoes. Horseshoes, horse and balloons. Yep. Something. Anyway, so I think that brings us to another end of successful Can I Say Something podcast, number 93. How did you feel about that one, buddy? Feeling good?
That was
a-
we went long.
that was a
and,
something.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was something.
definitely had our tangents.
So, check out movie Cage Match this week, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, if you're into that.
The Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy Combat. You can hear Carrie talk about the torturous 4-hour version that they were forced to watch.
I'm actually going to check it out. We had our schedules don't really mesh up, and she's already watched Lord of the Rings, so I need to watch that version. And she's like, enjoy those 4 hours. I didn't.
Yeah, so that'll probably be most of the podcast. Is you're just being like, it was 4 hours. How'd you like the movie? It was 4 hours. Yeah, but what about the act? It was 4 hours. Okay, but what about the music?
And then when you ask, oh, Harry Potter, how'd you like that? It was 3 hours.
So, anyways, can I say something? I've been Damien.
And I've been Deej.
We'll check you later. Goodbye. See you next week. IT.